You ever have one of those nights that you can't fall asleep, so then you get upset about not being able to fall asleep, and it's just like a vicious cycle at like you being mad at yourself for not being able to fall asleep, and it just lasts like the entire night. Yeah, well, I had one of those last night, and I'm on my second cup of coffee right now, and I figured it might be a good time for an episode, because I assume why those things kind of happen is because your mind like can't really shut off. Your brain still going, your mind is just wandering, thinking about apparently literally anything all night long. My theory behind like why this stuff happens is because you didn't let your mind wander enough during the day and get like whatever it wanted to think about out of the way. Which kind of brings me to the point of this episode is, when's the last time you literally did nothing and let your mind wander around? I think there's a good movement going on right now. Is just to like, go out, sit in the park. Not hang out with friends and do nothing. Like literally do nothing. Like sit in your backyard. Not look at your phone. And just think. Remember how often you used to do that as a kid? Remember in the car and you're in the back seat on the highway, just watching shit go by, like making up dumb scenarios in your head. Hope that wasn't just me. I'm on the last day of my vacation. Took a week off of work just to literally do nothing and recharge. During my week off, I went up to a cottage, and then right from there we went up camping, and we wanted to do we had planned a bunch of stuff. And I think there is a level of like expectations versus reality there. And like there was a bunch of hikes we wanted to do, and then in the end we only did like one, and we ended up just chilling. And the thing there is like, I am not disappointed about it at all, because we needed to chill. And I think it was like a really big wake up call, and like literally do nothing. Just go off grid, turn your phone off, sit in a hammock, think about nothing. So this whole episode is just gonna be about that. And I think it's important, even at work. Like literally the last meeting I had with my top boss, she was like, you guys, well, our team is super stressed. We just have so much videos going out, and then video requests coming in. So it's pretty busy, and we're entering like another busy time. And our boss was just like, hey, I literally can see your calendars. And she was like, you guys should be booking time to think about projects. I'm not seeing that. And clearly you guys need it if you're stressed out. Because if you get stressed and you're creative, you're going to get into a roadblock, aka writer's block. Like stressed, if you're stressed, you're just not going to put out good work. You're going to be trying to piece things together, and it's not going to flow properly. So it's important to let your mind be flexible so that you can be creative. Give it some room to run around every once in a while. I seriously encourage you to think about when's the last time you did nothing and let your mind wander. And not like in the grocery aisle line, you did nothing, or when you were like on the subway, you did nothing. Like literally give a time chunk and do nothing. It sounds so weird to say out loud, but I was really thinking about it when we were camping a lot, because it's just like, you always just want to be doing something, at least for me. Like I always want to be doing something, like what's next? What hike are we going on? Like what are we doing tomorrow? How am I spending my free time? When in reality, I think we forget to block in that you need to chill. You literally need nothing every once in a while to recharge. And it's different for different people. I think I'm a pretty fine balance of having alone time to myself and then actually hanging out with people that I like to like recharge. And the thing about that is it's like the opposite thing of what I was just saying about stress. So when you recharge, it also boosts your motivation and your inspiration to like actually get out there and do shit. And it's funny though, because one of the common things that I'm chatting about to people right now is like how they recharge. It's just like super interesting to me because nobody's the same, obviously. And it seems like there's no middle ground. Some people know exactly what builds them up and like what to do. And it's like, it's almost a formula. And then some people are like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I just go home and Netflix and chill, which they might not even know, but that's what recharges them. That alone, figuring that out, is the first half of the battle. Everyone gets stressed out, and you need to know when to call it. If it's taking a break from work, a side project, or literally people in your life that are bringing you down, for me, there's a tendency to overcommit to stuff. Like I say yes so much, and I finally caught up in my thinking that I don't really do it so often, but like I kind of say no to everything now. And then one by one, I'm like, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to spend my time doing this? And if it's yes, then hell yes. But if it's a no, well, then it's a hell no. That thinking alone came from reading this book called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. He basically says say no to everything and then like restart. So the things that you want to do, you actually get to do instead of other people making plans for your time, which I find, at least for me, it happens so often. And then I'm in a situation and I'm like, I don't even want to be here. Another thing that helped me figure out what recharged me, actually, this might be the sole thing that did help me when I don't know if you have like sounds weird because all I can think about is like grade school, the word agenda in elementary school. Did we have them in high school? No, I don't know. But I don't know if you have a weekly planner because that's the grown-up word for it now. If you have a planner or something, what I would do literally at the end of every day is I actually heard Amber Ray talking about it. She wrote the book Wonder Over Worry. And what she did at the end of every day, that's funny. It's actually called the end system. So at the end of every single day, you would mark it with an E, an N, or a D. And this is the thing that really helped me figure out what was draining me, if it was a project, if it was some sort of task, or like what type of day I had. So the end system stands for energizing, neutral, and draining. So E-N-D. At the end of the day, if you had a super good day, write E. But the key here is you have to write E and then just point form. What did you actually do that you're like super stoked about? Oh, I hung out with my family today, or I had a super long conversation with this person. Or for me, generally, it was like I went skateboarding with my friends, or, you know, whatever. I went for a hike with my dog and my girlfriend or something like that. N for neutral, it's just like, yeah, whatever. I feel the same. So when I woke up. And D is drained. So here's where you'll find out at the end of the day when you put D and you're like, this project was super draining. So when you look back, because day to day, sure, it's not a big deal. But at the end of a month, when you have all of these ENs and Ds, you can figure out, okay, so this project that literally once a week, or this task of doing whatever, I wrote D every single time this month. Like maybe I'm going to try to figure out how to not do that, how to outsource that, or how to like get that out of my workflow. And really the whole thing is about figuring out what E is, and then how to do more of it, how to implement more of it into your life. And that for me was like a huge learning curve. It's so simple, which is the funniest part. It's just not the first instinct to do that. So if you don't know what recharges you, actually, if you do know what recharges you, I really think you should at least put the system in place for at least a month. Do it in your phone, do it in notes or something, do it in your calendar on your phone. If you have a like actual agenda / weekly planner, monthly planner thing, definitely do that. It's like not that much writing, doesn't take that much time, I promise. And you really figure out a lot of like what's going on in your life and how you're spending your days, which is coming really important these days because our time is so valuable and it's just getting sucked into these like stupid time holes of Instagram and Twitter and who the fuck else knows. So that's it. It's the end system. The key to stopping your burnout in its tracks. That sounded so lame. But seriously, it does help manage your energy levels. I started doing that in winter, last winter, because obviously winter is a touchy subject for some people. And for me, I definitely get affected by it just because it's so like, I just get cabin fever and like, I don't know. I can't explain it, but this definitely helps because I was like, all right, what can I do to make myself feel good every day? Turn the pages back. Oh, okay. Whatever was marked with E, I'm going to do that, which was more little passion projects, more, like brainstorming for myself and going skateboarding with my friends. And yeah, like just don't discredit being alone and doing nothing. I think there's a whole thing of which we've already experienced with that hustle movement. And I think it's kind of over now. But I don't think people like to admit that, like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? Nothing. Just sat around and thought. It sounds weird. But one of the things that I've been doing recently is I bought like a little, I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's called a pocket. It's called a pocket operator. It's a sampler and sequencer. It's basically the size of a calculator. And it makes music or beats, I guess. And the reason I got that is like literally the sole purpose of recharging. When I was camping, popped open a beer and made some beats, and it makes you think differently. And I think that's one of the things in recharging that you need to look for. Like what shifts your mind into a different lane. So when it shifts back into the regular mode, it's fresh, it's new, and you're seeing things differently again. But for me, yeah, like I'm having such a fun time playing with it because I had a few boxes to check for criteria. One of the things I didn't want to do is be sitting in front of a screen because I do that for 8 hours every day, if not more, editing videos. So my hobby was editing videos and my job was also editing videos. So there's not much variety there. So I kind of had to find something else to do, but I didn't want it to have a screen and I wanted to kind of be able to pick it up and put it down whenever I please. And I can take this anywhere. That was also part of the criteria. So now, most nights I'm just like kicking it out on the back patio, with Taryn, chatting about random shit and making some beats. They are not great right now because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I do have a SoundCloud now. So, probably going to be playing Music Festival soon. But yeah. I feel like I always talk about writing stuff down, but I really think it's the key to a lot of things in terms of solving problems. I really think that's a big key step, is like putting it on paper, seeing it. I think there's just something, at least for me, there's something about seeing it in front of my eyes and being like, oh, that's the problem. But that's the roundup this week. So keep a end system nearby. Doesn't matter how you put it in your life, how you implement it into your life. And the other thing I would say is, and you can use your notes on your phone or something or write it out, but figure out what your criteria is to recharge. If you don't know, and if you do know, still fucking make a note on your phone and be like, yo, this is what recharges me. Hanging out with this person, going to this place, playing Frisbee in Bellwoods, people watching at Thing, attending the movie nights at Christie Pitts. Like, I don't know what recharges you. Maybe just biking. Sometimes like it's the simplest mundane tasks for me that seriously recharge me. Like biking in traffic for me is so therapeutic, and skating in the city again, because it's just like there's literally nothing else that you can think about other than like, take this turn, don't hit that car, don't hit that person. You can't really do anything else with your mind, and that is also the key. But please remember, on the flip side, give your mind some room to wander around, or you're going to be sitting up at night, and at a certain point, your mind's just going to be like, yo, I have a bunch of shit to think about. So like, buckle in for 8 hours and take a Red Bull in the morning, because I got some shit to do. Unrelated to this, but one of the last things on my agenda here is I don't know why I said we, like it's a thing, it's just me, but I got some stickers for the podcast, which I'm pretty stoked about. And if you want some for free, could definitely send them to you via snail mail. And here's what you got to do. Either DM me or email me. Super simple. Instagram at Spencer Torok, or email info@spencertorok.com. And either tell me what recharges you, or leave a review for the show on Apple Podcasts, the app there, and screenshot it and send that to me via DM or email. Just one of them. What recharges you? And then send that to me with your address. Or if you're still trying to figure that out, leave a review of the show, preferably positive feedback, but could be criticism. I don't mind. Trying to learn as we go here. And then your address, because obviously I will need to mail it somewhere. Very stoked to get you guys some stickers if you're into it. That's all for this week. And I will leave you with a beat from the thing I was talking about earlier. It's called the PO33 Pocket Operator Knockout.
I'm really happy that you're hanging out with us.
Yeah. Me too.
You know how everyone's always saying seize the moment? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking it's the other way around. You know, like the moment seizes us.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's constant. The moment, it's like it's always right now, you know?
This moment's having a multiple orgasm. It's like as if all of time has unfolded before us, so we could stand here and look out and scream, fuck yeah!